Hello everyone and welcome back to the final episode with our little minivan here, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you just look at the spreadsheet for this, 184 pound-feet of torque with 170 horsepower, top speed of 100 miles an hour. It's also rear-wheel drive and a manual and weighs 3,000 pounds. This is basically a JDM drift car at this point. And I mean, look at all the lights, you know, looks like it works. Apparently the indicators on the bottom, you know, looks beautiful, doesn't it? And I did have to change up a couple things so it could, you know, import into BeamNG a little bit better. But otherwise that, it looks beautiful. Got a reverse lights and everything works. Looks fabulous. But the best part about it is the interior. And if you look at this thing, look at this interior. I actually spent about 4 to 5 hours on this thing trying to get it to work, and actually put a few more things in, like the roof and all that stuff. But otherwise that, and yeah, we actually have working gauges, which are in automation. No working steering wheel, because I don't know how to do that. But you know, I got the camera all lined up, and it looks like, yeah, this looks like a great van. And we spun up something like this. This is the Bishu Kashira, and they are the same length and width. But the interesting thing is their height. Our Yokai here is a lot taller than the Kashira, but also has a lot more ground clearance, so that counts for something. Now if we actually look at this, we're going to do a 0 to 60, we're actually going to do a drag race. The Kashira has a little bit less horsepower. It's got about 10 less horsepower than our very own van here. And oh yes, getting them lined up nicely. And the way I do drag races, I pause, just mash the throttle on both of them, see, and then unpause. You see the, ooh, looks like our Yokai is beyond, wow, it's actually going ahead quite a bit. That 10 extra horsepower really helps, doesn't it? Dear Lord. And jump there, and it pit maneuvered and slammed into a wall. It's like an action movie sequence there. Now, if we look at the bumps and stuff, I mean, look at this suspension go. This is basically an off-road van at this point, and it looks brilliant going over those bumps, doesn't it? I mean, this is satisfying. I could probably watch it for hours. You know, more suspension testing here, over more bumps and stuff. Overhang on the front is a little bit much for, you know, off-roaders, but otherwise that's pretty good. Looks great. And if we just, you know, slam into a wall here for a crash test, about 30 miles an hour, not too bad. Radiator's broken. And indeed a Yokai, which is 30 miles an hour, easy feat. And there we go. Oh dear, we've made the flat nose of our minivan flatter. That's great. Oh geez, oh that's not good. Not good at all. Interior in this one's completely fine, however. I think I'll say the Kashira wins this round of crash testing, because oh hold on, it seats 6 people, which I believe is less. Look at the interior on this thing, it's quite nice. It's a lot nicer than the one in the Kashira, that's for sure. But this seats 7? Yes, it seats 7. So we have beaten the Kashira once again. And seating, we seat one more. And if I have to go over the small suspension bit here, you can see no problems, just glides right over it. Very nice and smooth. I missed a bit there. But yeah, use the Kashira. There goes a hubcap. There goes the exhaust. Otherwise that, nope, there goes the front bumper. And we just hit the body. Otherwise that looks perfectly fine, right? Yeah. The Yokai wins once again. Now for a small test run around a little track here, we begin off. A little bit of squeaking at the start there from the tires. Go around the corner there. It's not too bad. Actually, this thing is quite maneuverable for a minivan. It's extremely light as well, so it makes go for a good combination in the corners. Couple it with the rear-wheel drive. Go around the corner, just like a train on rails, I'm telling you that. I mean, it is just glorious around corners. And this should come up on a pretty short time on this thing, I think. Getting close here to 33 seconds. Not too bad. And now we'll switch over to the good old Kashira and see how that fares. Off the line, and well, it's a lot more tire squeaking this time from the little front wheel drive there. It's a little bit more unstable. It's not as good as in the corners. Got a little bit more understeer because it is in fact front wheel drive. Front wheel drives tend to have that front understeering problem, so that can be expected. Around the corners, not too bad, especially if you go a little bit lower speeds around them. Ooh, a little bit squirrely through there, but however, it's doing pretty good. Around the corners, fairly decent, and it should be going up to a pretty close time as well. I think it will be cross line at 34 seconds. That is really not bad at all. And now for the new mod that recently came out, the Gavril Scout. Look at all those pretty lights, and look at those. I mean, the lights in the rear are a bit tiny for my taste. I mean, look how small these things are. I don't think those pass US regulations, do they? I don't think so. Pretty small. However, the doors open up on this one, which is a bonus. And look at that. That is beautiful. And it's even got sliding doors. Oh, that is brilliant. I love it. I am loving it. This mod does cost money. A whole $3.50. And the interior is quite basic and boring. Expected for this type of minivan. Ooh, it's got a circle. It's got a circle gear selector. That is interesting. Very new. That's on a lot of newer cars as well. Cup holders got only 2, which is pretty sad. Fancy screen, fancy, and it's got a digital dash as well. It's got only 5 seats, so it's not that good. 0 to 60 is pretty anemic on this. I think it's upwards of 18 or so seconds. It's got 85 horsepower, which is sad. It's just sad. And 60 is coming up at 18 seconds. So you hit the wall going 75 miles an hour, because that's probably the top speed of this thing. And oh, okay, thing flying off in the stratosphere, but barely any damage. Okay, that's surprisingly safe. There's a lot of spiking and not car-looking stuff right there. Really worth $5 when you can make this, which does burnouts on command. Would you look at that? Beautiful. And yeah, it's pathetic off-road. I mean, this thing just gets stuck on. There goes the skid plate, there goes the front bumper, and now our rear axle has dislodged itself. How lovely. In other words, the Scout sucks. Our Yokai is so much better, and it's time for celebratory headlights. But the Scout has another trick up its sleeve. Surprisingly, they make a sport model as well, which is odd, I guess, for a van, but it's got yellow brake calipers, and it sounds like a lawnmower. Yeah, not my style. But oh, it's got different rear doors. Would you look at that? Where's the thing to open it? Ooh, yes. It opens like the barn doors on the Roma. Oh, that is beautiful. Righto, onto this lap. I sped up this lap, otherwise this video would be 15 minutes long, because both of these cars are anemically slow. So do you know, enjoy the slideshow of a car going around a track. I think the time was 1:24 for this one, which is pretty good actually. It's not that bad. I actually tested a Mustang around there from 2007, and 1:24. Yes, just like a Mustang GT from 2005. And now onto the Gavril Scout, which is also sped up, because this minute would be 20 minutes long, because both these cars are anemically slow. Now, if you don't mind the slideshow over these cars going around the track, because it's quite nice actually. It's a bit squirrely around the corners there, a lot of understeer, because this is a front-wheel drive minivan. What do you expect? It's quite heavy too, but a minute time of 1:34, I believe. Yes, 1:34. It's slower as well. So, which minivan would you choose? Well, it's up to you. You can either choose Yokai here, or the Kashira as well, and maybe even the Scout. It's up to you, really. But I think we all believe, my personal opinion, the Yokai is superior to all in every single which way. It's the perfect minivan for every single occasion. You will not prove me wrong, doesn't matter what you do. And enjoy this thing circling around in circles. This has been Wang Automotive, and I will see you in the next video.